Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing, back with another quick take. Today we're going to be casting the all-new Hardy Ultralite Spey rod. In particular, this is the 13.689, and it's built with their top-of-the-line Sintrix NSX technology. Stay tuned to see how it does. Now, before we get out on the water, let's talk about where you might want to use a 6-piece Spey rod, and in particular, a 13.6 6-piece Spey rod. And I think the 6-piece Spey rod is obviously for the traveling angler. But there are a lot of times when, it's okay to bring a 14-foot 4-piece rod. But the reality is, you're probably going to have to check that bag. Like we found out in our recent trip to Canada, sometimes baggage gets lost. So if you want a rod that you're definitely going to be able to take with you on the airplane, that's where this 6-piece is really going to come in handy. Additionally, if you're going on a trip to, say, Argentina, and you've got maybe 3 or 4 days on, say, the Rio Grande, and then a couple of weeks fishing rivers in northern Patagonia, you're not necessarily going to be spending enough time on your Spey rod to make the extra effort of bringing that longer 4-piece rod worth it. And that's where the 6-piece rod, again, is perfect. And what I really like about this Hardy is that it is much, much lighter than a lot of the 6-piece offerings out there. And that just makes it much more fun to cast. It's also got some great features that we're going to take a look at right now.
I wanted to briefly interrupt this review to let you know that this video is supported 100% by your purchases at Trident Fly Fishing. So if you're in the market for some new tackle, check us out at tridentflyfishing.com.
Starting from the bottom, you'll see that this is pretty much all standard Hardy. We've got a really nice grip, double down-locking reel seat to keep that reel on tight, and followed by a pretty nice Spey handle here. All in all, this is a great package, particularly if you're the type of angler who likes to hold the bottom hand a little bit lower down. It's got this sort of nice flare to it, and it gives you a really nice fulcrum point. If you are a thumbs up, full hand on the handle guy, you might find it a little bit small. Then we've got really pretty standard Hardy build for 2022. It's a great looking rod, it's green, and the componentry is gonna be top of the line. This rod doesn't have Cerakoils on it, but it does have titanium guides going up the entire length. Now, let's get it out on the river and see how she casts. So casting the 13.689 6-piece, I was pretty impressed with the rod. It is light enough that you don't feel like it's a 6-piece. And I think that's the highest praise that I can really give it. In terms of line choice, the rod says somewhere in the 510 grain range, and I think that is way too light. And we've actually found that with other Hardy Spey rods as well. I fished the 600 grain Gale Force ESH on it, and it was perfect. If you're looking for a scanty line, that's definitely the one that I would put on here. And it's probably going to pair up well with the 4-piece version of this rod as well. In terms of scad, you'll probably want to be somewhere in the 600-ish grain range as well. However, this being a longer rod, we didn't actually cast it, so your mileage may vary on that one. As you're casting the rod, you'll notice that this tip does flex a little bit more than something like a Gale Force. So you do need to put a little bit more effort into getting that cast off the water. However, once you do, it's just a really easy to cast rod, and it was a pleasure. We went through all of our casts, the single Spey, double Spey, snake roll, does it all. And it actually has quite a bit of power. And for the right caster, they'll be able to reach any fish that you can reasonably reach with a 13.5-foot rod. This rod here is priced at $11.95, and that's definitely on the high end of Spey rods, but this is a high-end Spey rod designed for the traveling angler. If you're traveling long distances to fish for Atlantic salmon, steelhead, big browns in Tierra del Fuego, this is going to be a great companion for you. Tell us what your favorite travel Spey rod is by leaving a comment in the box below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next awesome review. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.